So is this new Amazon Prime original hit or Bliss? Let's find out. What is up everyone, Movie Wayne back again with another review, and this is going to be for the film Bliss, and this is directed by Mike Cahill, starring Owen Wilson and Salma Hayek. Now this tells the story of Greg Whittle, a middle-aged man who is down on his luck. He then meets the mysterious Isabel, who tells him that nothing around him is real and that he is plugged into a simulation. Kinda sounds like The Matrix, right? Great concept, even if it does feel like a little bit of a rip-off on paper there. But I feel like this film had a lot of potential, and after the first 20 minutes and opening couple of scenes, I realised that it did. I was hooked. I was so invested into what was going on in this character, Greg Whittle's life. But as soon as he meets Salma Hayek's character, Isabel, this film falls off a cliff, because unlike The Matrix, this great idea just isn't executed as well as that film. Owen Wilson is always great though, isn't he? I mean, personally, I like the guy. I'm a big fan of movies like Wedding Crashers. I like him in Zoolander and stuff. And this is more of a serious role for him. But he still manages to bring the charm to the character of Greg. And even though this movie lost me very early on to the point where I didn't really care, I still wanted it to end well for his character. He also has a daughter in this. Now, he's divorced in this film and he's sort of lost connection with his kids a little bit, but she still wants to be a big part of his life. And I got a little bit remotely interested in this part of the story, even if it was just very mildly. Salma Hayek, for me though, was the total opposite, and I was kind of surprised. It's like the director, Mike Cahill, said, you know, just do the first scene and let's see what happens. And she spat out her dialogue and he said, yeah, that'll do. It's like her lines weren't really landing properly and she just didn't put as much care into it as Owen Wilson did. And I don't think these two connected well on screen together at all, to be honest. I mean, there's a bit of a love story going on, but I just wasn't feeling the chemistry at all between the pair. Once her character enters the fray as well, I just think that this movie tries to overcomplicate itself and becomes way too ambitious. Now, there's nothing wrong with being over-ambitious, but you've got to execute that properly for the audience. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I had to Google what was going on here because I know all you clever clogs out there might have got this film, but I just didn't. And that's fine. I don't think it's a movie that everyone is meant to get. And once I even Googled it, I thought, oh, that is pretty clever, I suppose, but you've got to engage your audience while doing this. It's a fine line. Like David Lynch, I mean, I have no clue what's going on in his films sometimes, but I'm always invested on the screen. And Mike Cahill just kind of lost that for me here, I'm afraid. Like I said, nothing wrong with ambition, but you've got to nail down the execution. And I just didn't care throughout this movie at all. Can I just say as well, the filming locations here inside the simulation were so dull and depressing. I mean, visually, it didn't look great. And I get that these characters aren't living the best high lives and stuff, and they're kind of in a depressing and dull moment in their lives sometimes. But you could still make it look better on screen. It was like it was just filmed in one or two streets and we kept returning to the same sort of places. It just felt very, very dense. Look, this film does have a few decent moments. Like I said, the first 20 minutes was excellent. I thought this was going to be a really good film. There's a moment where these two characters are in a roller skating ring and they're just tripping people up with these powers that they've got. And that was kind of fun to watch. And when we come out of the simulation for a little bit, the movie does brighten up and look a little bit better. But overall, there are more negatives than positives here, I'm afraid. I'm just going to go ahead and rate this movie now. I'm going to give Bliss a 4 out of 10. I do applaud the ambition of Mike Cahill. It just wasn't executed in a way it should have been and felt totally off at times. There's a couple of good moments, like I said, but I feel like I wasted a couple of depressing hours here, really. I'm not going to lie. Okay, guys, at the end of this video, I always like to leave a little fun fact. Now, a fun fact for Bliss is that Salma Hayek has already played a character called Isabel once before in a movie called Fools Rush In, which, funnily enough, is about a couple who get together really quickly due to unusual circumstances, just like this film. Okay, guys, I hope you all enjoyed this review. If you want to subscribe, it's up to yourself. I've got lots more reviews coming, lots more videos, and if you want to comment about the movie Bliss, leave it down below and I'll reply to every single one of you, I promise. Take it all easy, guys. And I'll see you all in the next video.